everyone. How are y'all doing? Hopefully good. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've done a live. But we're here. I'm home. I don't know if anybody's gonna join. I think people would. We have many more subscribers since the last time. Since the last time I've done one of these suckers. Perfect. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a very long time since I've done a streaming live. Maybe like a year, or I might have did one while I was at school this past year, but I just didn't see the point in really doing them anymore. I was so busy, and yeah, but you know what? I'm in here today. Come say hi, leave a question. I'm happy to answer it. If we get too many though, I mean, I won't be able to answer everything. But yeah, just stringing a racket here for somebody that plays at my club in Rothsay. And yeah, just chilling really. I mean, I'm just gonna try and get the comments up and see if there's anything in here because I don't know how to see the comments, so make sure that's coming in there. Okay, so anyway, just say hi. If you wanna say hi, feel free to ask questions. I'm also watching Cracked Rackets right now. The D3 singles and doubles stuff is at the USTA right now, so I get that on my other screen while I'm doing this. But yeah, just stringing up a racket for somebody here at my club. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14. But yeah, season is over. I am home. Yeah. Gonna be playing in a few tournaments probably this summer. But yeah, nothing super crazy happening. This is a huge racket that I'm stringing. It's like 115 square inch head size. I've never strung a racket that large before. It's crazy. The amount of string that this will require is a lot. Some people like to use different rackets and stuff, I guess you can say. Please, I don't know how to work the chat. I'm trying to see if there's anything there. I don't know how that works. It's been so long since I've done this. But yeah, I'm stringing this racket at 57 pounds. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'm stringing this actually with a full bed of multi. So I've never actually, or it's been a long time since I've strung a full bed of multi. Normally I'm stringing hybrid for people or also just a full bed of poly. But yeah. Yeah, a lot to talk about though. I don't know if you guys are watching what happened this morning or wherever you live. Rome, Holger Rune beat Casper in 3 sets, which is, I don't know if that's an upset. I mean, I think Holger's kind of found his game and it's hard for people to beat him when he's on it. You know what I mean? So he won this morning, and I think he plays the winner of Stefanos and Daniil Medvedev, something like that maybe. I'm not following it super close, but enough to know the scores and everything and know who's winning and losing. The girls' draw is kind of strange too. You have Rybakina and Iga lost to her but retired. So it's interesting to see if she'll be able to get it together and stay injury free for Roland Garros. But yeah, guys, feel free to leave some questions in here. I really hope like they're coming through, because I must check and see if they are. Yeah, just leave a question if you have any questions, because I'm happy to answer. That's what I'm here for. Happy to help. This is actually such a strange racket, because sometimes these oversized rackets are like they have grommets, but actually they don't. So like there's one hole I have to go through, and it's like not even a hole. It's like a side half grommet thing that goes through. It's kind of like an O-port, if you guys remember those old Prince rackets. Like there's a bunch of grommets on here, and then there's one side that's like, it's like open. Anyway, first time I've ever seen that. But this racket also weighs like 8.5 ounces. So cheers to that. That's a light one. Then we've arrived at that grommet. That's so strange. This is the weirdest thing ever. It's not even like a, wow, that's crazy. It's like you just bring it through the side of the racket. That's crazy. I wish I could grab the camera and show you guys. That's insane. It's like there's no grommet. It's like it's running through the side of the frame. I never ever string oversized rackets, so this is a new one for me. I mean, stringing a racket is stringing a racket, and I don't know how to do it, but it's just, this is an interesting one for sure. I see there's some stuff there. Give me a sec there. Just gonna finish this one. Gotta focus up because some of this is weird. Perfect. Okay, what do we got? We got, hi mate, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, very kind of you. How are you doing? What stringing machine are you using? I don't know. That's terrible that I don't know. It's like a Gamma. It doesn't even have its name on it. It's a crank. I know that's kind of obvious because you can see it. It's a crank. It's probably about, I want to say just over 10 years old. I bought it off of one of the tennis facilities I used to train at. They started hosting some pro events, so they needed to get an electric stringer for the club. And I just bought it off them. Works like a charm. It's still in pretty good condition, actually. But I'm probably going to have to get some new clamps in the next couple of years, which will probably suck. But yeah, I don't actually know the exact name. It's yeah, it's like Gamma 300 something or other. I don't know. I see their stuff. Hold on. Finish this one main here. Oh, this is a joke how this works. Some of these holes are in so weird spots. Alright, there we go. I'm through the bad grommet part. Okay. Hey, yo. Did you learn on that machine? I didn't learn on that machine. I learned on a drop weight. Let's see if I can pick it up. I still have it. Ugh. This old thing right here. I learned on this. Yeah, I've been stringing, okay, 2 years of college, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. I've been stringing for like 6 years probably. So I strung on the drop weight for probably like a good year and a half, 2 years. I have a genuine question. Is the Battle Up Here Arrow 98 and the Wilson Blade 98, 1619 similar in play style? I would say yes. Those are like twin rackets, I would say. The Babolat, the Pure Strike would probably give you a little bit more pop and spin. That's just my opinion. A lot of other people think that too. I just feel like overall Wilson rackets are more like precision control based, like overall. Where Babolat is more spin power based. However, those rackets are very, very similar, but since Babolats in general have more pop and stuff, I would say it has some more power and stuff. I think that's so yeah, they're very similar. They would play similar, but if you want a little bit more pop, then I would go for the Babolat, like Pure Strike. Love your reviews. Why did you go with a weighted Extreme MP rather than Tor, which is already heavier? The Extreme MP is 100 square inches, so I didn't want to play with that thing. Personally, the Extreme MP plays, it's like it is a completely different racket. It's like, it plays like a Pure Arrow. The Extreme Tour does not play like a Pure Arrow at all. So if I weighted up the Extreme MP, that would make it like a weighted up Pure Arrow, and I don't want that, and I never did want that in the past. So I would never ever use a weighted up Extreme MP. Like the Extreme Tour is a racket that is like gonna be a future pro stock probably. So guys will want that to be their racket. Like for example, if I played on the Pro Tour in like 6 years, guys that are my age that use that racket that'll turn out to be really good will probably want that in a pro stock. Just because it plays so good with weight. Like it's a really good platform racket. Like even yesterday, like I was coaching and my dad uses the Extreme NP, and he was like, because I gave him my racket because he didn't have his Extreme NP with him, but I had my tour, and he was like, dang, like this feels pretty good. I was like, yeah, it does feel good. And he was like, I could never play with it, but like I can see why you like it. And I was like, yeah, it's a great frame. So yeah, to answer your question, I would never weight up the Extreme MP just because it plays so different. I have another like screen right now that I'm looking at the comments, so I know you guys are here, but I'm looking at the comments down here. Thanks, man. I'm looking to buy and I am between the two. Yeah, just depends. Make sure you demo them both, right? Like, if you have the option to demo them, then do that, because then you're really gonna know what plays better for you. Lover. Oh, you're gonna ask the same question. Yeah, so I kind of just answered that one. Are you ever gonna do a collab with Winston Dew and Felix from Tennis Brothers? Yeah, that would be pretty sick, wouldn't it? We've thought about like reaching out and doing that kind of stuff, but I haven't really put a lot of thought into that. I would love to, and I totally would be down, but we never asked, we never reached out, they never reached out. But yeah, I think that would be pretty awesome if there was a collab like that. There's a couple collabs I would really love to do. I would love to collab with Tennis Nerd. I would love to collab with Tennis Brothers. I would love to collab with My Tennis HQ. I would even collab with Tennis Spin. Harry is a legend. I would collab with Tencon. He's also Canadian. He actually shouted me out in a couple videos ago that he made about the Wilson shift. He's a really cool guy. I would collab with any of them, to be honest. Extreme Tour is such a great base racket. Added a leather grip, 4 grams to your 9, so much pop and stability. I know, right? Like, I don't have a leather grip on mine. I add lead instead of the leather grip. When I first got my Extreme Tours, I added a leather grip, and I did kind of like it, but not enough to keep it on there. So then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to putting lead under it. And then that's what I did. But if you like it with a leather grip, do it up. Like that's awesome. Like that's the thing about the Extreme Tour too, guys. Like it's insane because you look at like, this is why I don't think a lot of people buy it, because if you look at like simple reviews like on Tennis Warehouse and stuff, they give the Extreme Tour a brutal rating. Like it's in the 70s for everything. You might have a couple 80s like on their, how they review, like T-Dub reviews, but they do not like it. So like that's why I always like try my best to demo rackets like stock, but then also add weight, because it opens up a whole new door. Like I never demo rackets I know if I buy a stock racket, like I will never use it stock unless it's like a really beefed up, like an RF 97 or like that Rafa Origin. Like I would never put weight on those because they're already heavy enough. But like for me and a lot of college guys, or a lot of guys like at my level, like we can't use stock rackets. Like they're just too light. Some guys do and they can get away with it, but once they have that feeling like of adding weight and stuff, like it's game over. Like they love the weight. Like John, one of my teammates, he's been featured on the channel before. Like he had a Speed MP his freshman year, and then he was like, yeah, like I want to try weight on it. And now he loves playing with lead on his rack, and he can never like imagine going back. So he doesn't use the Speed MP anymore. He actually uses the Boom Pro, but he loves it. Like he loves having the weight. What hybrid strings do you recommend for the Wilson Blade 981619? Looking for control and power. It depends your price range. And it depends it depends your price range. Like, I'll say Champ's Choice. Like, do that if you have lots of money. But I can't do Champ's Choice, and a lot of people can't do Champ's Choice because it's so expensive. But yeah, Champ's Choice is good. You could do like RPM Blast and Babolat Natural Gut. If you want to start going down, you could do like ALU and NXT. You could do ALU and Head Velocity. You could do like Technofiber X1 Biphase as a multi-cross, which is a really good multi. With like ALU or like Torbite. It depends too, like what you want in the crosses on the mains. Right now I'm stringing with Head Velocity for anybody that doesn't know, like stringing this racket. It's not my racket, but Head Velocities are really good value, but yet performs really well for a multi in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on your price range. But yeah, I mean, you said Blade 98. It really doesn't matter what racket it's going in, because then you can kind of play with the tension and everything too. And yeah, no problem. But yeah, so that's that. That's the one thing I do not like doing with multis is tying knots. Like sometimes the multi gets so, depending on the multi or synthetic gut, it gets so like, you can pull the knots so tight, like it'll break or it'll go through the grommet. Like that's happened to me before. Not all the time. It doesn't happen all the time. I mean, it's only happened like very, very few times, but like, I feel like you have to be careful when you're doing the knots once in a while with like not a poly string. Like I feel like sometimes I need to triple knot the knot. Multi is nice to string with though because it's easy on your fingers and your nails. Like as somebody that strings, like I string my rackets a ton, obviously because I'm breaking strings, but like when I get somebody that wants to have like a multi full bed or like a synthetic gut, I'm like, thank you. I guess it's like a nice break. A little bit of extra string here. That's too bad. Oh well. What do we got in here? How often do you restring? What is your deciding factor for when to restring? When it breaks. Like right now, I'm not gonna break as much. Like I'm out of season. So like, okay, like when I'm at school, I'm playing at least 2 hours every day. So I have to string like every week, like a couple of rackets, right? I will restring rackets, like let's say we have a big conference match in the regular season or in the playoffs, or we just have a match, or I'm going to play a match, whether it's college or not. I'll restring my rackets anyway. So like for example, like I'll probably play in a tournament next weekend. The string in my rackets right now is not broken, but I'll restring before I go. because like new balls, new string, like I'm not gonna use string that's been in my rackets for a couple weeks that I didn't break because I took some time off, you know what I mean? Like, so time and when they break are kind of like the factors. I mean, when I'm playing a match, like sometimes they're gonna break and then I'm gonna restring, obviously, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's another thing about stringing these damn oversized rackets, man. They're taking like so much of my string. I hate that. Like I feel like I'm using like double the amount. Favorite tennis player of all time? I love Andy Murray. I know a lot of people don't like Andy Murray, so sorry. But I like Andy Murray. Seems like a really good guy off court as well. Has done a lot for the sport. I think it's extremely impressive how he still plays tennis. If you are unaware of that, then you're not really in the tennis world. Just because he's been hurt with some injuries that people never thought he was going to come back with. I mean, the guy plays with a metal hip, so like, I just say to myself, like, if Andy Murray can play with a metal hip, then like, I don't know. It's just some motivation, just kind of puts things into perspective. Like that guy loves tennis so much, and I just respect that. Yes, he can be whiny on court, but I mean, the only ones that are really never whiny are like Rafa and Roger. So, and of course I love Rafa and Roger. I love them too. I love them. These guys, Andy Murray has a special place in my heart too, just because of what he's had to go through and stuff. Oh my God, these stupid strings. There we go. Damn Maltese, man. See, that's what I mean. It slides through sometimes. I hate that. Like when you're doing a bulk knot, like that's what I use to start the crosses on when I string. And since the string is so like, I don't know what the word is, but it, not thin, but like, it's a joke sometimes. Now that I just had to redo it here, even more of a joke. You guys are probably thinking, first time stringing, Cade? And I'm saying, no. However, it kind of feels like it's the first time I'm stringing right now with how this knot is not cooperating. You know what? I'm just gonna cut that off. Start that over. What a joke! Stupid multi-filaments. No harm done there. Alright, over, under, over. Do you guys do bulk knots too when you string, or how does that work for you all? Because that's the way I learned. I know there's tons of I have tons of people that heckle me actually because that I use the bulk knot. But it's just the way I learned. Well, there we go. We got it. I'm sorry. I was away from the camera. Okay. Andy Murray's ability to still play on tour level after his hip surgery is remarkable. I know. It is insane, actually, and that's why I have so much respect for him. Because, like, there's not many athletes that can say that they went through that kind of hardship and came back and still, like, competed. And, like, won. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if he was able to get, like, one more slam. Like, that would be incredible. Or, like, let alone, like, a Masters, like, 500 or 1,000. Like, that would be legendary. That would be awesome, actually. I really hope that he can win one more big title, and then he can kind of call it quits there. I saw a joke on there. I did read it, but I forget what it said. I'll come back over. What tennis tournament never... The US Open. Okay, very funny. I've never heard that one before, so... But yeah, Andy Murray, legend. I also, like, a lot of guys on my team don't watch a lot of women's tennis, but I actually watch not as much women's tennis as men's tennis, but I watch definitely enough to know what's going on. I love Iga Swiatek. I also really love Paula Badosa. But yeah, no, I mean, love them, good players. I was never a big Serena fan growing up. I don't know why. I just thought she was always like a little too much, but she's definitely a GOAT. Joke again, what does a British guy say when a tennis match is over? a Wimbledon. That's actually pretty good. Did you ever play Felix in juniors? I did not. Felix is a few years older than me. I think he's maybe 2 or 3. So I was always like a level, or not a level, like an age group below, but yeah, definitely a level as well. I mean, he was crazy in juniors. I do have a couple good stories about him though. 2 good stories. Actually 3 good stories. Story number 1, I used to play tennis with a guy. He doesn't play anymore. He quit when he was like 14, but he was unbelievable in U10 and U12. Like, he destroyed kids and was super talented. And then unfortunately he doesn't play anymore for some other reasons, but he went to the National Training Center with some kids one year, and he came back and we had played one day, and he's like, Cade, like, I saw this guy there, and he's like, he's only like 2 years older than us, but like, he's so good. Like, I can't believe how good he was. Like, his name's Felix. Everybody says he's gonna be like so good, and then the rest is kind of history, if you know what I mean. So, kind of crazy. What is happening here? Yeah, that worked out well. So that's crazy. So that's story number 1. Story number 2 is I have another guy that I'm friends with that I play juniors with, and he he played him at nationals, and he said like he was off the court in like 30 minutes. Like, and this guy was a good tennis player. Like, played Division I college. I know him pretty well, and he said like he was just so good. I don't know if he got a couple games or not, but he got demolished, obviously. So that's story number 2. My friend played him at nationals. And story number 3, another guy I know who's also Canadian was best friends with him growing up, and they would travel in Europe a little bit together when they were younger, and even just because it was hard for Felix to win his first title. He was in a bunch of finals. I forget what his record was, but he really struggled to get a win, like on tour and to get a title. And he told me last summer, like, because it was only just a couple of summers ago, I think. I don't know if it was last summer, but it was not too long ago that Felix won his like first big title, or stopped the losing in finals. And he said, yeah, like, it's funny that's happening because that happened to Felix in juniors. There was one time, we were driving home with me, him, and his dad, and we had played a tournament, and he had lost in the final and was up like big time and had like 6 or 7 match points and couldn't convert. And Felix on the way home was like crying because he was really struggling with the pressure in finals. So the story is funny, or not funny, but interesting, because that was when they were in juniors, and he still had a little bit of trouble closing matches out even when he was playing on the HB Tour. So anyway, there's a couple stories about Felix, but I'm going into freshman and want to try and get into varsity. Any tips in tryouts? Okay, so I'm assuming you're American. We don't do high school tennis in Canada, like, so, like, how do you feel about going into the tryouts? First of all, like, do you feel confident? Are you a little bit nervous? First thing I would say is don't be nervous, because like there's so much tennis to be played. Like, if you make the team or don't make the team, like there's always another day when you can go play and try out or play in a tournament or a USTA or a UTR or whatever. So I would say don't get nervous. But a tip I would give is just, especially if you know the guys that you're playing, just try and be as consistent as possible. Just run down every ball, get as many balls back, show your work ethic, because maybe even if you lose, if worst came to worst, the coach wants to take you because you worked your tail off. I mean, it's hard for me to give you tips because I don't know your game. But yeah, just keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Do what you do best. So if you have a good forehand and a good serve, hit your forehand and your serve. If your forehand sucks, well, maybe don't hit your forehand every time. You know what I mean? Like, simple things like that, especially when you're going to do tryouts or like play big matches, you want to stick to what works well. Pretty confident. I guess my friend, same age, who is the 10th best in the state, says I have an okay chance. Well then good. I mean, if you feel like you have a chance, then definitely give it your all, obviously. But yeah, I mean, don't worry too much about it. Like I said, you're still in what? I mean, how does high school work in the States? You're still in grade 8. You're going into grade 9. You have lots of time. You could lose all your tryout matches or get destroyed, and like that doesn't define your tennis career. Like, there's so much more that tennis is going to offer you in the future. So just go out and have fun, play hard, keep things simple is my tips. And even for me, like, that's even something that I try and tell myself. Like, if I lose, like, it's okay. Like, there's another one tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, especially when we're in season, like, let's say I had a rough loss, well, it's okay. Yeah, it sucks in the moment, but then kind of have to get over it and look forward to the next one. Like, there's always more tennis to be played. Have you tried the Radical MP? I thought it was a bit stiff, but had great control and spin. Really liked it with Lynx Tour Orange. Radical MP is a good hidden gem, to be honest. It didn't work perfect for me, but I know a lot of people that seem to love it, and I think they have reason to love it because it is a good racket. Did I find it stiff? I would say definitely not as stiff as like a Wilson Shift was for me. I guess you could say, I think it would be, yeah, on the stiffer side, but I didn't find like it was terribly stiff, if you know what I mean. But yeah, no, Radical MP, great racket, especially, and if you feel like it's hurting your arm and you really love the racket, well, you can always put a hybrid in there, right? You can put a hybrid in there, you can lower the tension. I did a mess up here. Aha. This is the thing with these stupid oversized rackets, guys. There's so much more going on in here. Like, it's annoying. Like, I'm making some errors here that I would never make. It's annoying. And I'm also talking a little bit, so I kind of get distracted, but that's okay. Yeah, no, Radical MP, good stick. What do you reckon your first serve speed on average is? I'll answer that in a sec. Okay, man, I'm gonna hop off, see ya. Thanks for advice. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so first question, first serve speed. Okay, we do kilometers in Canada, but I always refer to serving in miles per hour just because like that's what makes sense in my head for serving. However, anything else in miles doesn't make sense, which is weird. When I pop it real good, it's sunny, I have a good conditions day, I feel good, and I really go after it, I don't know, probably like 130. Like when I hit it clean and good and solid, that's just around 130, but like normally when I'm cranking it out, maybe like 120. Anywhere between like 118 and 125 probably. We had it done when I was at school a couple of years ago, or like my freshman year. And also we did it in kilometers here in Canada last year, but the thing when we did it in kilometers, it was measuring how fast the ball was when it was crossing the net. When they play, or like when they do it for tournaments, it's how fast it is when it comes off the racket. So it wasn't really accurate because the ball loses a ton of speed by the time it reaches the net. So if you guys didn't know that, the ball speed is actually measured as soon as it comes off the racket on the tour. It's not when it hits the court, which is something I didn't know until like a couple years ago. What type of player am I? I'm all around. I mean, I have a really good serve, I would say. Like, I use my second serve really effective. But I also return well. Like, when guys beat me, like, they have to beat me. Like, I'm not, and I don't say that, like, hockey-wise. Like, I don't really have a shot that's, like, really terrible. Or, like, okay, that guy's backhand's going to break down in the third set. Like, that's not how I operate. The way I lose is sometimes I maybe make some silly shots on my end, or also like guys will hit through me. Like when guys play with big power and hit really through the court, that's a struggle for me. But yeah, I'm definitely an all-around player. But when I mean like when guys really hit through the court, like, I mean, who doesn't struggle with that? But when all-around players play those kind of players that hit really big, like flat and hard, that gives all-around quarters some trouble. But I defend really well too. Like I kind of counterpunch sometimes as well. Like guys will have me on the run, and then I'll do like, you know, that's why Andy Murray's my favorite player. Like he'll hit one of those like cross-court angle winners. Like that's one of my favorite shots. Like on the run, and then forehand angle. The guys at school actually call me Katie Murray, believe it or not, because they think I play like him sometimes, and like my mannerisms are like him. Like the way I walk and stuff on court. But I would have for the level, I would have a better serve than Andy Murray. And for the level, my defending probably wouldn't be as good as his, just because, I mean, it's Andy Murray. But I also like to come to the net to take some time away. But like I said, I'm an all-around player. Like I'm not the guy that's gonna hit a 130 serve every point and then hit a huge forehand, or like even look to hit a huge forehand, just because that's just not how I play. But yeah, all around to answer your question. But yeah, guys, yeah, all around. You should try the TF40 or T-Fight line. I think it suits an all-around player well. Almost went with one, but chose Radical MP. Yes, I actually briefly hit with the T-Fight 305 back in March. Secretly, I played with it. I didn't tell you guys. But when I mean secretly, I played with it for like 5 minutes, so I didn't really get a great feel of it. It seemed like it played interesting, like it had a different feel. That's one thing I noticed, like, Technofiber rackets feel different when they come off the string bed. I didn't love it, but I think the strings in there were terrible. So that didn't really help. And it didn't have any weight either, so it could have felt light. I'm sure you're right. But yeah, yeah, I mean, I think they're good rackets, but I probably won't be trying many rackets anymore because I made a decision on my new racket, and that video will be soon. So you guys will see that soon. Hi, any secret tips for serving bigger? Go to the gym. That's my tip, actually. Like, I'm not kidding. I think, like, everybody says, like, and once again, I'm not being cocky. This is just what other people have said. Like, I've played guys this year, and I've overheard them mumbling and stuff at the back, like, after I hit my serves, or, like, I ace them or whatever, and they're like, I hate playing this guy because his serve is, like, it's so heavy, but yet hard to read. So, where am I going with this? I don't even know. Yeah, but it's because I go to the gym. I really focus on going to the gym. That's a big deal for me. I feel like when you're hitting baskets and baskets of balls, that's more to work on like the skill development of your serve and maybe technique stuff if you're still in that kind of phase. So like working on your serve, yeah, you're gonna be able to make it harder because you're practicing reps with it, but like when I'm practicing my serve, like I'm not practicing to hit it harder, I'm practicing to hit my spots, if you know what I mean. Like, okay, today I'm gonna work on my slice wide, or today my kick serve was terrible to the deuce court, to the forehand when I played this person last week. So today that's what I'm gonna work on. So I've never ever really worked on like how to get it harder on the practice court. Of course, I'm working on my flat serve. But yeah, I would say really focus on some gym work. That always helps. Also, some little things that can make a difference too are like shoulder mobility and upper body mobility, because a lot of people try and hit the ball so hard, but like they don't have the range with their elbows, shoulders, back. But then if you really want to get technical, I mean, just some simple stuff like make sure you're pronating. Use all of your body. Like sometimes people are using just their upper body or just their lower body, like to really go up after the serve. Like, and this goes for all your serves, like flat, slice, kicks. You really need to use your body. Like really come off the ground, swing like aggressively with your upper body as well, but not to the point where it's out of control. And then also pronation's a huge deal too. But honestly, I'd say the gym stuff. Razor Soft was amazing. I heard about that string. Some people love that string. I did not like 305, like 300 and 315. T40 was amazing too. What string do you use these days? Still with Slingo Confidential. I'm at that point where I'm playing and I hate making gear changes. That's one thing I'll talk about in my video when I talk about like what racket I'm switching to. I hate it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love reviewing rackets and reviewing stuff for you guys, but like when you really need to make a switch, it's so tough. Like right now, I had to make a racket switch. I'm happy with the choice, of course, because it feels nice. But in a perfect world, the company would say, here, we're gonna make this racket for you with this pro stock code, and you don't have to try another racket. But like, of course I can't do that because I'm not good enough. And I hate making shoe changes. I've talked about the Vapor Pro, I think, on the channel before. Those shoes just work for me really well. I'm somebody that loves to have the low to the ground ride with my feet and like feel like the court. And I am pissed that they stopped making those. Sorry if I'm gonna offend anybody, but the Vapor Pro 2 and 11, oh my God, they're terrible. They're terrible compared to the first Pros. Like there's so much padding under there and I hate the padding. If you're somebody that likes padding, then you're gonna think they're great. But for somebody that doesn't like a lot of padding underfoot, likes to feel the court, like I run around a lot. Like I said, I'm all around player, so I need to be able to kind of play from all parts of the court. Like I like that low to the ground ride. Oh, the Vapor Pro 2s and 11s, they're terrible for me. And I'm having a hard time finding a shoe replacement because they're discontinuing those. So like I have like 6 pairs of Vapor Pros in my garage right now, but they're all like worn out. So like I use one day, one the next day, like to slowly like keep wearing them. But that's only gonna last probably like another week because they're all so much worn out. Today I ordered Ubersonics 4s because I used those actually. I used the Ubi 4s before I started using the Pros. And they're okay, like I don't mind them. They just don't offer the same feel as the Vapor Pros did for me. But bro, I hoard shoes, so like I like 3 in reserve, LOL. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, when you like a certain shoe, oh, that's so killer. And I even thought about like ordering the Vapor 9.5s last night off the Tennis Warehouse, which would be so killer for me because then I would have to pay for the extra exchange, duty, shipping from the US because I'm Canadian. But then, and I was like, that's not even worth it. But then I saw that they're on clearance. If you guys go to Tennis Warehouse, like US right now, they, the Vapor, like when they brought back the 9.5s, they dropped the price and they're like going on clearance and some of their sizes aren't there anymore. So that sucks because like people are gonna lose their mind because they're not gonna have Vapor Pros anymore. They're not gonna have the 9.5s. I'm telling you, I don't know what Nike is doing, man. Like so many college players use the most recent Vapor Pro, the one that's getting discontinued. And when the 9.5 was re-released a couple months back, a ton of guys bought those as well that I saw play. So It sucks, man. Is it a head racket? If it is, I might have something to help you. What do you mean by that? I don't want to spill the beans about what racket it is, but I'll let you elaborate on that. Like, if it is, I might have something to help you. Like, what do you mean? But yeah, man, that's the thing. Like, once you get to a certain level and you've used rackets or shoes or strings, you don't want to change. Like I was saying earlier, for the people that are still on here, when I was talking about Felix, like the couple stories I had about like FAA. My friend that played him in nationals that year, he was using blades from like 2015. And he still uses the same blades from 2015 because he just loves them. He doesn't want to play with another tennis racket. Like, he's tried the new blades for the last 8 years, and he does not like it. And I get it. Like, he just buys like grommets off of eBay, but eventually, like, they're not gonna have them anymore. Like, that's the thing, like, eBay will charge, and people will charge so much for stuff on there. So, I mean, it sucks, man. Like, it's too bad that you'd think when people love a racket so much, they would just keep making it or have some sort of way to keep getting it. I mean, you do, but you have to be a pro. That's the only thing. Because if you look at like Dimitrov, he's still playing with like the Vapor 9.5s, I think, and he has been the last couple of years. But they just keep making them for him. But that's because it's Dimitrov. Coming up on the hour marker here, taking my time for you guys today. Don't have a ton of stuff to do today. But I don't mind taking my time for you guys, asking questions and stuff. I got about I got like 3 crosses left, so make sure you guys are saying something in the chat there right now, because I'll be done the racket soon, and then Cade will be bye-bye for the day. Do you think you could play a good level with multi-filament strings? I'm realizing poly is too stiff for my wrist. Yes, of course. I mean, a lot of people that are good tennis players use multi-filament in a replacement of natural gut. Like, I think Tennis Nerd actually came out with there was like a 3-minute video that he had yesterday that was like, a Serena Williams racket from like 2010. It was like a K-blade or something, and she used to string full bed and natural gut. I know she plays WTA, and there's some different things there, but like, I'm stringing a racket right now for somebody that has a full bed of multi. If you're playing at a high level though, and you want to hit some spin, like, I would definitely cross it with a poly. I think playing at a high level now with a full bed of multi, that would be really tough, and you would break the string so fast. But yeah, 100%, you can hybrid with a good multi. Like, let's say you crossed it. It doesn't matter if it's on the mains or the crosses. If you crossed it with like an X1 biphase or like a triax or maybe even a velocity. Like, I played velocity for a little bit this year when I was trying to figure some things out. I don't anymore because I didn't like it. But yeah, 100% you can, 100%. You're not going to have the same spin and maybe arc and launch and trajectory that you would have with a full bed of poly. But if it means saving your arm, then 100%. I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but if you're at a really high level, like, I don't know what your level is, like if you're I don't know, like 9 UTR and above or anything, like make sure you're rehabbing your elbow and shoulder too. Like make sure you're maybe see like a physio or something too, like because exercise is medicine as well, right? So maybe switch to a multi, get some stuff there for your arm. Don't just take Advil for it. Tennis players are very bad at that. Guilty. I'm guilty for that as well. But yeah. But yeah, you can 100% change to a multi. Especially one of those good ones. I like there's some really good multis out there that according to a lot of people feel like natural gut. I mean, it doesn't have the same properties, but what do we got here? I'm only 3.5 NRTP. Okay, well then yeah, definitely go for it. Like, I think a lot of people at that level use a multi or a sin gut in a cross and remain anyway. Especially if it's hurting your arm, like really test some things out. Like it might make a big difference. Like I would definitely try it out then for sure. The only thing though is, I don't know if you string or not, but then I mean, just pay a couple bucks if you're not the stringer, or pay a couple bucks and get like a one set of head velocity, and then you have two tries worth of string that you can test out. My dad uses a hybrid setup. My sister uses a hybrid setup. Hybrid setups are not bad at all. Certain people use them for certain reasons. A lot of people, though, in the last few years, as we know, have been really going for full beta poly, but there's nothing wrong with hybrids. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Thanks, Javi. Thanks for saying hi. Hope you are having a good weekend, too. Thank you for stopping by. I'm on the last cross here, so throw your questions in there, or whatever you would like for me to answer. Oh, stupid racket. I hate this racket is huge. So huge. And used way more string than I thought of. I find like I always do that though, just to be safe though as well. Like when I string other rackets for people, like I use more string maybe than I should, just because I would hate to mess up their racket. Even hybrids are painful right now, but I'm messing around with full multi and softer hybrids. Yeah. Okay. Also maybe try like Luxlon. That's expensive though. I understand that's expensive. Maybe try like a set of Luxlon Element crossed with a multi or crossed with a sin gut, because Element isn't even a poly. It's like, I don't even know what it is. I watched something the other day about like what it exactly is, but it's not really a multi either, I don't think, but it plays like a poly, but is really good on your arm. But stay away from ALU, RPM, Confidential, Torbite, Hyper G. Stay away from a lot of those like classic polys, because they might be giving you some trouble. But yeah, try like Element, cross with a multi, or a sin gut, because sin guts are pretty cheap too, and I think they're generally pretty good on arms. So you guys, I'm gonna finish this racket and then I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna go get ready to record another video. So, gonna record a video for y'all. Not about rackets though, about something else that could be valuable to some of you. I think it has value to, honestly, everybody. Because everybody can learn something probably from the video that I'm about to go record. Cut that high right here, perfect. Anything in here? LeBron James, that's a legendary username. Why so many foreigners in college tennis? Or wait, I missed one. Ooh, sounds good. Thanks for the, yeah, no problem. Why so many foreigners in college tennis? Because tennis is a global sport. I mean, I think everybody knows that. Think about all the tennis players. If you go look at the Rome draw and the guys and the girls, I mean, there's a ton of Europeans. There's lots of people from Asia. There are Americans, there's Canadians, there's people, some players from Africa, there's players from all over the world. So if there's players from all over the world playing pro, then there's players all over the world playing college tennis and at other levels as well. So a lot of people like to recruit from other places in the world too, just because of game styles and stuff too. Hi, would you prefer Radical MP 2023 or Wilson Blade? I would probably stick with the Radical MP for now. Just because it has a head feel. There's something about head rackets. I generally like head rackets, that feeling more. So I also play tested both of them and I preferred the Radical MP, but that's just my choice. No scholarship overseas for sports. Like, what do you mean? Like for a North American people and South American people going over to Europe, or, I mean, yes, I would agree with that. I mean, NCAA is a huge deal in the United States. Why so many Indian tennis players for juniors? I don't know. It depends where you're from. Maybe there's a large Indian community, in where you're from. I mean, if you live in India, then of course there's going to be a lot of Indian tennis players. But I mean, I've crossed paths with many different people from different countries. So I wouldn't say there's one group of people that are more than another. I mean, obviously, there's certain countries in the world that have a bigger population, so there might be more tennis players from those countries. But yeah, I'll let you guys ask a couple more questions there. I'm just gonna put the stringer away and then we'll wrap it up. Okay? So I'll give you like another minute to say some things if you have any more last questions. If not, and you think of one later, you can just go comment on pretty much every video. And pretty much any video, sorry, and I'll reply. Me or my dad will. Yeah, okay. Coach Chris answered kind of your question there. Singles best booty exercise for forehand power? Oh man. Simple lifts are good, like squats and deadlifts are good. You can do like clamshells laying down with the band, like you're on your side and then like that. I do that. Booty exercises, that's funny. Did you have one coach as a junior or specific ones for different parts of your game? Never, ever, ever. I would really avoid that actually. If you have a forehand coach, that's kind of weird. No offense. Like, I had different coaches at different stages of my junior career because I lived in different places and I traveled to play different places, but I never had like a certain coach that was like, oh yeah, today I'm gonna go over there because I'm going to see my serve coach. Like, no, I never had that. I had coaches that I think that were very influential and helped me on parts of my game, but never a certain coach. I mean, if you do, I mean, that's fine. Not a lot of people do that, and that could be hard on the head if you have different coaches for different strokes. Like your channel, MP Tennis, looking for an intermediate racket, can be an old one. What would you pick? I get that question a lot. It depends your level, your intermediate, you said, how long you've been playing. I would stick with like a tweener frame, you call that. So like you can hit with like pure arrow, regular. You can have like a pure drive, regular. You could always play with like an Instinct or an Extreme NP or good rackets. Wilson Clash is hot right now. You can always, there's Yonex rackets too. I try and keep people away from Yonex rackets just because I feel like they play really different with the isometric head for people that aren't used to that, so stay away from that. Anything that's like around 300, anywhere from like 295 to like 305, 100 square inch rackets are a good choice. And then obviously if you're intermediate, you might want to string it with a hybrid or something like that. Okay, are we good? I don't want to leave y'all. I mean, I'm not doing anything super important today. Just gonna put this couple stuff away and then I'm gonna sign off. But you can always comment on another video if you have a question. All right. Anything? I want to ask if there's a difference between blade and pure strike. I had that question earlier. I think a pure strike just offers a little bit more help, and by that I mean like it's going to give you a little bit more spin, a little bit more power, just like a tiny bit more. Babolat rackets tend to have that a little extra juice from the frames, a little bit more hollow. Wilson rackets overall are more like precise and control, like as a whole. Of course, they have different rackets in their line, like Ultras and Clashes, that can give you a different kind of ball in play. But I would say they're very similar, but demo them, and then you can kind of tell which one you like. Thanks. You are welcome. If you guys want me to do this, I'll do it more if I have time. Sometimes I try and just get a racket done in like 20 minutes. So today I took my time though and talked to you guys for a bit. So anyway, we'll see you later. Comment on the video if you need anything, and we'll see you soon. Go play some tennis, guys. Go play some tennis.